Good morning, good morning. This could be our breakdown of our multi-week balance. So we had some big news today. Big news. We had Iran say that their weapons production hasn't been halted, countering Trump's claims. We had the Pentagon saying that they're sending thousands of additional soldiers to the Middle East, as well as 3 ships, and at least 2 landing crafts. And we had Trump call NATO cowards. uh, so there's that. Yeah. You know. So there's we've got that going for us. Um, this is where we're currently trading. I want to go over this very quickly. I think it's important. We did the pathing from yesterday. We held where we needed to. Our long played out, right? We got the short off our pivot. We got our long off our pivot.
Traders
We then
price in
rotated this
50%
again,
chance of a Fed rate increase now by October. So again,
and
that's
we have
traders
now
pricing in a
rotated
50%
down.
chance of a Fed rate increase by October.
So my long yesterday worked off our 410s. I played that up into our highs, and then we've now rotated off of a failure to get back into our multi-week balance, and we are now taking out lows. So this retest here is going to be incredibly important to let us know if we're going to rotate back in, just like yesterday. Oops. So this is going to let us know if, right, like now that we're down below, are we going to re-offer this and then hold lows for continuation? Or is this going to fail? And is this like liquidity going to be offsides down here? And then result in, a pop above and then a rotation back up, giving us some sort of push higher? That's what we're going to have to figure out now. With where we held in our balance rotation, right, doing this full rotation down and then putting in this lower high here, it would make sense that we might need to take out these lows down at 990, right? Because we have the offer stepping down after equal highs, offer stepping down, holding our pivot, and then rotating. So I could see this needing to come down. Oh my god. And take out that. Yeah, sorry, it's the old contract. It's not the old contract. It's the continuous contract that I'm looking at. So that I don't have to change my chart for the higher time frame. So it's going to be off for a little bit compared to your contract. Because I'm looking at the NQ1.
Treasury 5-year yield tops 4% for the first time since July.
But it's a structural thing that we're watching. So we just got to watch to see if these guys are going to be offsides below our range or if this is going to be able to hold. That's kind of like the idea. So I just want to point that out. Something else I want to point out is our NVIDIA pathing that we've had on chart for a month. look at where we are. So we still have a little bit more room to the downside, but once we come down here, this could be our rotation back up. So we'll have to keep an eye on this as we push down into these lows, because we are almost at our bottom of our multi-month, almost yearly range, I would say. All right, this is from August or July. So it's going to be very interesting when we come back down into these lows following our pathing, right? What do we do?
Yield on
We find demand
2-year
again?
UK gilts. It's a fresh session high.
We haven't had a bullish Nvidia
That's
market
2-year
in
gilt
quite
yields
some
up
time.
17 basis points on the day.
So what does that look like when Nvidia comes back down into our lows for the rest of the market, right? If we get a bounce, could be good. So we'll have to pay attention to that as well. So let's set an alert as we come down into these lows, just so that we are aware of where that's happening. Have a couple of alerts on. Set the equal low, which we're coming into right now, and then we'll set 174. Okay, so I just wanted you guys to be aware of that, of where Nvidia is currently trading, as well as what NQ is trying to do here. Because if this fails to push below, this is going to result in a really juicy absorption that's going to rotate us back up off of a failure. And our catalyst is most likely going to be that Nvidia bottoming in that bottom of balance, if this does fail. What's more likely, a rotation back into our multi-week balance or a full breakdown of the market? I think the multi-week balance holds, right, off of a failure. I think that's more likely, to be honest, but we'll see. Just like statistically, I think that it's much more likely that we rotate back up trapping, but we'll have to just watch Nvidia and see what it does, you know? Yeah, exactly. So that's, I wanted you guys to be aware of that, because I think it's important to give us context of when people are like, whoa, what the hell? Why didn't, where are we? Why aren't we going down? Why aren't we, you know, all of the above. I want you to
Short-term
be
rate
aware
futures priced for a
that this
likely
is
Fed rate hike in December.
potentially a trap, right? So we want to be very careful here, because this could easily be the low. So let's keep an eye on this. Can you look at ES? Yes, what ES is the same. ES, we are watching our lows. We had a very clear low yesterday that we took out. And if we can get back in, these guys will be trapped and we will rotate back up. So we just want to keep an eye on this as our pivot. This 610, 620, see if offer holds. POC from this candle at our 620. 612 here, just our previous lows at these, right? So we're watching this to see if sell side is going to sit here for rotations down, or if we can get back in and start to build. NQ, you're just watching your 330 to 360. Just our ETH low from yesterday. Is that going to hold its offer, or are we going to be able to get back in, build, or is this going to hold offer and rotate down? To head down to ADR first, trapping down here at 240. So it's a really important area while we wait for
So now
price
confirmation
to
is
try to
three
hold
US
below
officials tell the
balance.
Newswires here that the US are to deploy thousands of additional troops in the Middle East. Again, that's according to 3 US officials now, previously reported by the Wall Street Journal.
You're talking about where we could rotate down, Nicholas? For ES, we'll head down to ADR, down at 85 to 580. That's our average daily range low here. Let's mark our lows. We can see that POC is already attempting to shift down here into this. I don't know, man. I am not convinced that we're going to get this breakdown with all the context I just gave. So we'll see. But like our current footprint, we're seeing a hell of a lot of absorption so far into this 280, 260.
The yield on 10-year UK gilts are up 15 basis points at 5%. That's a fresh post-2008 high.
Holy shit. So all these videos coming out of like the airports with TSA down. So many people. .3 minutes until new 15s, lower highs being put in. ES leading down, Russell and NQ following. Just watching our lows. Q and RTY potentially double bottoming, but I want to see if ES is going to lead. I probably won't take anything until new 15s because I missed our entry at 12s. So I gotta wait for reoffer. I'm assuming that we just chop here and balance for for right now, but we'll see. You wouldn't want to take a trade into 330? Not yet. I don't like the lower highs. I don't know where I'd put my risk. Like, I'd love to take a trade into 330, but where am I doing that? Like, I think we probably come down to 240 here first. This is what I'm seeing. I'm seeing our offer sit here, our offer lower, and POC now hold here. So we've got our offer pushing down. So I at least think that we're taking out this low. And now I've got to see if we'll like trap as we push down into ADR, and then if we can then maybe like get back in. I don't know. So I need to see some sort of like wicking first before I can take a long, so that I have a risk that I can then play off of, right? Use that as like our risk. I can't just like take a long though, because we don't have anything to reference for the downside. So like this 240 could be good. We'll have to see. We have a minute until new 15s. I'm just gonna mark our 280 here, where POC is resting right now.
SoftBank plans giant Ohio AI data center powered by gas plants. The Trump administration are announcing a partnership with SoftBank and AEP Ohio as they're planning a giant Ohio AI data center powered by gas plants.
Holy. Ten seconds till new 15s, coming into our NQ ADR. Bouncing our 240. We have to watch our value edge here as we come back in. This is where we're gonna need to pop. NVIDIA just went into our lows here off of our ADR. Let's see if we can flip. We bounced perfectly at our ADR at 242. If we can flip over 280s, we have a chance to do the full rotation back up to 330, Rory. We've got our daily POC here at 285. That's what we're watching for offer as we push into this. I'm taking off my first risk from 240 and watching to see if we can flip 285 for secondaries. We'd expect our lower offer to try to sit here. Did I bottom tick that? No. I'm in at 253. But I did bottom ticket on chart, but I did execution wise, no. Watching to see if we can hold. Testing into POC a previous candle. See if we can get a good secondary here. 285, this is Globex POC. Trying to look for this look above. Remember, this is us pushing down as well, right? We're getting our flip off of our ADR. I think if we can hold 285 as supportive here, we at least push into 310 and then 330. Watch our value high as your first, is your secondary here if 285 holds. We should at least go to like 308. Value high of previous candle. Keep an eye on this. This should,
Gold
again,
falls over
285 should
1%
bid
to around
$308
$4,582 an ounce.
This is what I've got. We'll see what we do. What the hell? There's potential we get stopped out on our runners here, and then we'll have to get back in. We'll just have to wait. They might want to take out lows first off of that wick, but there's liquidity here. So far, I mean, nothing's happened. We're just holding our flip, which is good, but it might take a bit longer than I want. So I want to make sure that I have the ability to stop out without us fully coming back down on us. Yeah, so let's see what happens here. I'm more than happy to get back into this, back over 285. More than happy. I just don't want to, with my average down, I don't want to over risk or over commit and lose back on gains for no reason. So we're just bouncing, bottom ticking. Let's get back above 285 and we'll be all right. Got to see ES show interest over 600s for more. Oh, Lord. Offer sitting 275. We're just waiting. They're absorbing into this 280. Makes sense. Again, our Globex POC, or sorry, our daily POC on ES and on NQ are trying to shift down here. So this is going to be its incredibly important flip if we can do it. Or this will be a huge resistance that builds, and this will be then our new highs that we'll have to watch. So it's just this line here, this orange dotted line.
So just keep in mind at the bottom of the hour,
That
Trump
is
is due
our
to be
daily
participating
POC.
in the Commander-in-Chief Trophy presentation. We do have a live video on the feed.
So far, this looks good for a potential low, but we just have to show interest above.
The US dollar
This.
extending gains against the yen. Last up, 0.91%. Again, that's the dollar yen. Euro extending losses against the dollar.
We're putting in higher lows here. We're putting in equal low on ES. We've got POC trying to shift.
So the dollar index
We need to
extending
see
gains following reports
this
that the
become
US had to
supportive.
send more troops to the Middle East.
Or this will be our resistance with the lower offer, and then I'll look below, and then a continuation down. All right, so we're watching our offer here. And we watch to see how we build into new 15s. Stacked line is still holding. ES still holding. Russell still holding. Just want to see us flip back above our value from previous candle if we're going to go up. Probably have to wait 3 minutes, but we'll see. Again, it's just a daily POC shift, because like if this daily POC shifts, if we can get over this 85 and start to sustain above, and if we can start to sustain above this 96 to 600 on ES, we will rotate back up to POCs from pre-shift, so 630 on ES. And that would be 390 on NQ. Back into our absorption here, 285s. Offer sitting here at 280. This is where our seller is. We need to flip for more. $280, still holding offer, no change. Just rotating back down. ES retesting lows, RTY retesting lows. Offer still maintaining.
Dollar extends gains against the franc. Shortly expecting comments from Trump. Again, the live video is on the feed.
New 15s.
Gilts extend their drop. That's the UK 2-year yield now rising 20 basis points to 4.61%.
Into our 285 here again. See if we flip. Holding POC of previous candle here. ES needs to get over this 96 to 600 for us to feel a bit more comfy. We are holding our equal lows though. No change. Offer still trying to absorb here into 285. Need to see this flip above our daily POC for this rotation back up to 308 at least. Or again, this will be where our offer sits. But we are holding our lows very well. See if we can get some continuation here on the look above. Should go to 305, 308 at least, I would assume. Yeah, good. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Just gotta take out equal highs here. Following ES. Need to see interest over 600s. RTY holding our pivot. ES trying to build. NQ leading off of the pop, but we now have a liquidity pocket at 285 to 266 again. You can see that on footprint. I'm gonna adjust our levels just to match with footprint just a bit. See if we get this continuation here, or if this is going to fail. I want this POC to hold as supportive. That's the ideal scenario here with ES. I just exited my first contracts here into 308, following our plan off of the hold of 285s. I'm looking for our 320, 328 as our next risk off if we can flip this 305. This is POC on our sell side from ES on the 15. Great first risk off if you're playing off the flip of 600s for 5 points. Again, NQ held our 85s off a flip, rotated up to 307. That's your first risk off. Secondaries will be into this 20 to 28. Just watching to see how we interact here now that we're pushing into our value of that previous candle. Yeah, just watch Russell as we push into value, and ES as we push into our view up, and that edge there, 12 to 17. I mean, it still could if we fail here. If we fail to hold 96 to 600, then these guys would be offsides, and then that would lead to our ADR move. But as long as we're holding equal lows, there's no reason to look for more. tagged into 320. I have a little bit more of a limit at 28. Watching to see if we fill in that or if we can get over. We're almost into ES target here, Russell target as well. I want to leave a runner for the full shift. Back up to 390 if we can get over this. Huge, man.
The German 10-year bond yield rises now to its highest since 2011.
Seller at 320 holding, just rotating back down to our big pivot here, 285. Watching. This is our POC retest from the other side. Same thing on ES, 600s.
NATO spokesperson on NATO's mission in Iraq says we are working in close coordination with allies and partners.
Again, this is our daily POC here on both ES and NQ as we rotate it down. Watching for Russell to find a low here at our previous structure at 73.6, as well as us coming back down into our pivot here, into this liquidity. We can see on footprint that this is where we absorbed. This is why it was our target as we pushed into this. This is where buyers were absorbed last. We can see that this is still where sellers are sitting. Just rotating back down to POC to value of previous candle. Watching to see what we do here. If we fail to sustain here and then we reoffer it, this will be trapped liquidity that will lead us to our next leg. So we really want to see a pretty active bid here. Or like this liquidity above will be offsides, right? So we want this to hold our previous liquidity and then be able to show interest again, right? Because like what if this doesn't hold and we can't bid here again? This will then be offsides liquidity, and then we'll offer below, and then we'll look for continuation as a catalyst for another leg down, right? Same thing on ES, right? We just held our POC here at 96, 600. See what we do now. We have to look for a lower high here with that sweeper down, right? To defend these guys. So if this fails to sustain off of this bounce, then we'll fail to get a secondary move, and then these guys will continue to remain off sides, and then we'll probably follow the downside pathing rather than the upside. Reflexive bounce there at our daily POC on retest just made sense. Now we have to watch to see what we do off of the seller who sits above us. We're still waiting on Trump to start yapping. Just retesting 285 for a higher low off of that bounce. Same thing at our 600s on EOS. Just following pathing. So we held our Russell structure on retest. Just pushing back up to retest highs now at our ETH. Let's see what we do. Yes, and NQ still holding our pivots. Did you guys see this from yesterday? I just find it so funny. This quote from Pete Hegseth. Like, does no one else just feel like he's talking about America, or am I crazy? Like, what do we? New 15s have opened. So opening at POC of previous candle, watching to see how we interact here. Russell retesting highs. ES and NQ still holding pivots. Still waiting on Trump. Good bid. This will be your first risk off here into 307, and we watch to see if offer sits here. This is our value of previous candle. Again, this is your first risk off here. And you watch to see how we interact now. Does our offer stick here, keeping these guys off sides? Or can we take out highs for the rotation up? Again, we are still maintaining our pivot, but we should expect an offer potentially here as we push into our value high of our previous candle. It is always going to be a great risk off for your first, for 5 points on ES, and I don't know, whatever this is, 30 points on NQ. We have a very clear buyer on both ES and NQ with our daily POCs shifting here, but we still have a very clear seller above us. Dude, I tried to play Crimson Desert last night, and first of all, it doesn't work on the Steam Deck. That feels bad. But I could like barely run it on my computer. I was having so many driver issues. Oh, I like got stuck on the loading screen for like, I don't know, 30 minutes the first attempt, and then I reinstalled drivers, and then I couldn't like I finally got into the game, and it like barely ran. I don't think these guys are gonna. I think Mario is not going to enjoy it because I don't think he understands how like. I mean, I think you'll enjoy it, Rory, because it's just BDO, but single player. But like, it's the same MMO grind, but single player, right? Like, it's still just like go and do little tasks with like a mid story that you're gonna skip in like an open world and explore, right? Like, it's that rather than like an American AAA game where it's like all storyline focused. Yeah. So we'll see. But it's weird. First of all, it's really weird that it's built for controller. It is very weird. Like that's the first thing that it says when you open it is that it's controller first, and it's a BDO engine. So like, why the hell is it controller first? It should be keyboard, meant for keyboards. So the controls feel really weird. Like I'm not plugging in an Xbox controller to play this game. I'm sorry. I don't know. We'll see. I might need to wait for a couple updates for them to do some patches. They've already added a a quick travel to the main city because people were mad at how large the world it was and how long it was taking to travel. It was taking like people like 4 hours to run from the spawn to the first city. But I'm really disappointed that it won't even open on Steam Deck. Not like it won't run, like it just I try to press play and it just dies. Like my Steam Deck just doesn't know what to do and like shuts down. So that sucks. So I was really hoping that I was gonna have like a nice single player exploration game to just kind of like fuck around on. Yeah, man. Especially when it's like controller support is needed. I was like, oh, this will be sick. I can just use my Steam Deck and then I don't have to sit there on my PC. But I don't know. We'll see. It might be a refund for me for a little bit, and then I'll wait for them to push updates. Or not even just a refund, but put on hold until some kinks have been ironed out. This is your first risk off if you're short off of those highs into our lows here, 260s. We're watching to see if we get the secondary move. Understand that this is ES into our POC as well as this liquidity below. We're watching to see if we can flip this following our pathing. Trump's about to come out. StarCraft. Which StarCraft? Both. Retesting our edge here. Watching to see if we flip from bid to offer or if this is going to just double bottom and trap. No clue yet. Watching to see. Offer sitting at 260 on NQ right now.
Trump says we're doing extremely well in Iran. So Trump has now taken the podium. We've got the live video on the feed.
Trump trying to save the market here.
Trump repeats, not going to have Iran have nuclear weapons.
Holding our offer so far, following pathing. See if we can break lows. Yes, holding pathing. Good flip. Bid sitting at 240 here. Taken. Taking off my first risk off of our flip. Into our ADR.
US stocks extending their fall with the S&P now down 1%.
Yeah, the first 3 episodes are out. I watched episode 1. Look into daily POC and now failure to hold, rotating back down to 260, seeing if we can get back below. Just POC retest here. Watching to see what we do off of this trap. We've traded right into our ADR. Now watching. What do we do? Is this now resistance? If so, then we'll get another secondary entry here with these guys trapped above. Trump's yapping, so just be careful. Watching to see if we get any follow through here. Offer sitting 280.
Trump says Secretary of Defense Hegseth is now in the Situation Room.
This is where offer sits right now.
Iran's leader Khamenei, in a statement posted to his Telegram channel, says we firmly believe in strengthening relations with neighboring countries.
There's nothing here. Just gotta wait. This is just our reoffer of our. I mean, when I say there's nothing here, there's nothing here for longs yet. It's just our offer retesting into our daily POC. Same as before. We're seeing a lower high, a lower high, a lower high, and we're just bidding here at this 260. So we just gotta wait and see what we do while Trump yaps. Very ugly POC formation on the 15. Russell still holding our range, no change. Yes, just coming into our POC as well. We got our leg down into ADR, but no follow through yet. We have a D distribution forming here that's pretty clear into this lower node. So I'm going to just readjust our levels now that we've gotten the upside move as well as the downside move, and just make this a fixed range just so you have a visualization of that 260. Yeah. Into our highs, just our same risk off as before, 308. Watch to see if we do anything new.
Trump says there are no leaders left to talk to in Iran. Nobody wants to be a leader in Iran anymore.
This man says the same sentence every time he speaks. Oof. Holy. ES holding our pivot back over 600s. RTY holding our lows, no change. Watching to see if we now hold this 280 to 308 on NQ, our top of our range. If we can, then we'll look up. If they can't, then this is still offsides. There's no change. We want to see a flag build here and pop. If not, this will trap. And then
Trump
we will
says
rotate
Iran
back through.
wanted to take over the Middle East.
It is a balanced rotation until proven otherwise. Right? So we're just watching to see how we interact here. I'm assuming that we're just going to continue to just trade balance for right now. Right? Watch 260. Looking for a bid at 260. Still bottom of our range, off of the failure at our highs. We watch to see if a buyer is still present here. And then we look to see if offer sits into 285. Again, we are just looking above, failing, and then rotating our range. And then we're watching for a bid here into our low. And then we'll watch to see if a lower offer sits here for continuation down, or if we're just going to trade balance. But right now we're just looking at outliers on either side of a very tight range and a D distribution that we're creating in this lower node. So we have to break out of this to see something new, or we'll continue to just chop here while Trump yaps. It just is what it is.
Iran's Khomeini, in a statement, calls on Afghanistan and Pakistan to improve their ties and offers help. Iran's Khomeini, in a statement, says attacks against Turkey and Oman were not carried out by Iran or its allied forces.
Back down to bottom of range here, full rotation. Again, we're just chopping. Watch our range low here. See if we create another outlier outside of our range, and then a full rotation back up. Same as before. Do you guys see what I'm saying? Like, does that make sense, what I'm saying, or no? Like, that's all we've got right now while we wait. You weren't paying attention? Do you see the circles on chart? Yeah, we're just bouncing ADR and then rotating through ranges on looks back in above our levels. So we've absorbed the 3 times above 308 into that 308 320 area, right? Like this is currently what we're doing. Any excess outside of our value has resulted in just rotations through. So we have a very clear distribution that we're creating, a D distribution down here, right? And our tails are just where buyers and sellers are. And then once we get back in, we do the full rotation through. So until that changes, all we're doing is trapping into these highs and then rotating through value for full value rotations between these two pivots while Trump gaps. That's all. Nothing to really look for until we shift this structure, other than looking for rotations back through after our lows. Every attempt so far has just like resulted in a look in, and then a recovery of our low, and then a rotation through, and then an outlier, and then a look in, and then a rotation through. Right, like that's what we're doing right now, and that's just us pushing through this distribution. Yeah. So until we see something outside of this distribution in our tails, right, a sweep through and then a hold, we should expect rotations to occur like such, where we look for some sort of absorption into our highs or lows, and then we'll look for a rotation through said distribution. We need to see some sort of outlier on our tails where a seller or a bid, right, interacts here, sweeping through, and then we look for a retest of an LVN that we create in our tail or expansion. Or we'll just continue to find a bounce and then rotate up. Yes. That's just how a distribution works. Into our lows again. Bouncing our lows, no change. Watching to see if we do the full rotation here off of another hold. Just watch our daily POC here as we push into 280. These wick highs. Okay, we'll take one off. And then look for the full rotation. 280 is a good risk off, and then we look for the rotation up. Yeah, I think it's great. Just hold of our lows, right? Just like we talked about. It's just an outlier. Mid, rotation up. Then we look to see if there's another trap, but you've done the full rotation through. As soon as you realize it's a D distribution, it's like, oh, okay. Just don't overcommit or over leverage, right? Just play the setup, make your money while you can, and then dip out afterwards. The problem is that people get greedy and stuff like this, and then they're like overcommitted, and they give back all gains after one failed attempt. You play the same rotation 90 times, and then the one time it doesn't work, you lose all your money. there's something wrong, you know? Yeah, no, I just want to make sure. When I talk to you, I'm talking to everyone, you know. There's a common thread where I see that where I'm like, this is free money, and then everyone's like hasn't been playing the rotation, and then 7 rotations later, people start to attempt it after they see it playing over and over again, and then they over leverage on that one time, and then it's the one time it doesn't work, and you're like, all right, sick. Full rotation up here into our highs again. There it is. Again, this is your risk off here into 308. $50 till new 15s. My next limit just sits at 325 if we're gonna break highs, but we'll see. I have 2 left. You did do your job. You listened to me. You asked questions, and then you took trades based off of the questions that you asked. You literally followed through. What if you want to have a 100K day? Well, what if, man? How do you get there? Have a bigger account? Like, what do you mean? Yeah, Emeth has the right idea. How do you have a 100K day? Is that you have to be willing to have a negative 500K day? brother. So, how do you have a 100K day? All right, this is how I'm going to tell you right now, is that you start scaling what you're doing, Rory. Not with size, but with accounts, right? You start copy trading 10 accounts, 20 accounts. And then your day that you're having right now is just multiplied with no more risk. That's how you have a 100K day. Like, actually, being honest, is that you start scaling your prop accounts with a trade copier, and then all of a sudden you just continue to do what you're doing, but your money is now multiplied. Right? Like, I mean, you're at least at a 1K day right now, I'm assuming. If you have 10 accounts, you now have a 10K day. Right? You didn't do anything different. You're still playing the same positions. Yeah, 500 to 1K. Oh, yeah, okay. But like, that's how you do it, is you just start scaling. 10 accounts on $500, right? Like, that's 5K. And so when you start scaling like that, it becomes like pretty nuts pretty quickly. So you usually buy like the 25 or 50K accounts, right? So like the people who are making 100K a day, first of all, like that's not reality. But if you were going to try to scale to that size, you would be buying like the 150K accounts so that you had like $4,000 to $5,000 worth of drawdown, and then you would start scaling with your investments from your payouts on your 25 to 50K accounts. You'd start buying about 150K accounts so you had a larger drawdown, and you'd start only trading those accounts on like A plus setups, right? And you would have those waiting. You'd have like 10 150K accounts where you could be trading, 2 to 3 minis on a 5K drawdown each and copy trading, and then you'd be hoping to make 2 to 5K on one NQ trade a day across 10 accounts, and then all of a sudden you're scaling like crazy. That's how I would do it if I was actually trying to like make a mass amount of money quickly without any like that's like the best way you'd be able to do it with minimal risk. But I don't know. I mean, let's be real. Like, what you're doing right now is working. You just have to be patient. The reason people fail prop firms is because they get impatient. But yeah, the way you scale is with trade copying. Optimistic. I mean, you're not being more than optimistic. Uh, no one needs to make 100K in a day. No one. Yeah, like, well, exactly. 100K in a week is very viable with the strategy that I just mentioned. No, I'm sure. Man, I'm so tired. Listen, like, all right, so this is what I would do. I mean, okay, so like this makes the most sense to me. What you should be doing, you have to remember, like, we've had this conversation before, but prop firms and the account sizes are all about what's your risk to reward. Just even in the account size in general, what you're buying when you buy a certain account size is the drawdown. That is what you are buying. You are looking at what kind of drawdown am I able to get, and what kind of leverage are they giving me for said drawdown, right? Like that's all that those prop accounts are at 25K, 50K, 100K, right? You're not actually getting that size account. What you're paying for those account sizes is what's my drawdown and what's my take profit, or what's my profit target, right? Like those are the two metrics that you need to be watching to give you the best risk to reward. So like on most like 25K accounts, right, you're paying for like $1,000 a drawdown. On most 50K accounts, you're paying for like $2,000 drawdown. On most like 150K accounts, you're paying for like $4,000 to $5,000 in drawdown. So as you scale up, your risk to reward is actually getting better, but it's a more expensive account. But you're getting more drawdown with the account size going up. And it's like, oh, well, how am I going to hit those profit targets for those higher accounts? Well, like, first of all, you're already in the wrong mentality. If you can't hit the PTs on the higher accounts, and you're impatient because it's going to take too long, right? Like you're already in like a pretty bad mentality because you're already trying to rush an eval. So this is why I was really recommending those Lucid accounts, because there's no monthly fee. Just play the fucking account, man. What you're doing is buying your drawdown. So if you buy the 150K Lucid account, you're giving yourself $4,500 of drawdown, and then you play it with micros, and you just scale up slowly. You have no monthly fee. But you now have way more leverage to play with. You have more drawdown to play with, and you're not going to be able to, like, if you lose, 5 trades in a row on your 25K account, you just blew up your account. Like, okay, sweet. But, like, your mentality is going to be fucked. Like, the 25K account is great if you know what you're doing already. If not, like, you need to give yourself some ability to, some wiggle room to make mistakes. Like $2,000 drawdown on a 50K account is okay, but like again, they're always going to give you more leverage than drawdown so that you blow up your account as quickly as possible. I just filled there at 330. I have 1 left. Full rotation of our range. But like you have to realize like what you're paying for is not leverage. You're paying for drawdown with prop accounts. So, like, is it more beneficial to blow up 5 25K accounts, or just buy one 150K account and then slow build that up? Like, what are we doing? Like, you don't want to pay. You're getting skewed or held up by the initial investment, and you're screwing yourself over in the long term. You're like, oh, it's only $25. Oh, it's only $60. Oh, it's only $100, and I could be. Oh, it's only $9. It's like, no, you need to buy the amount of leverage that's going to allow you to successfully pass that eval. And if you know that you're not there yet with your execution, then you need to give yourself a bit more drawdown. It's just that simple. You guys try to play the smallest accounts and then play minis. Like, what are we doing? Like, no wonder you're blowing up accounts.
So we're just keeping an eye on the markets there. Just saw a little bit of weakness pop through on the dollar very briefly. Same with the S&P 500. A weakness popped through in oil as well. There was no headline on the wires. At the time
you should even be trading micros on a 150K account. You should just be trading micros. There's literally no reason to be trading minis.
Is the monthly option expirations aligning with triple witching. So is volatility expected due to option expirations today.
Give yourself the ability to scale out. Your execution isn't there yet. Just trade 10 micros. Build slow. Do you think you're making the same decisions if you have only if you have the ability to only make 2 mistakes, or if you have the ability to make 30 mistakes, do you think you're going to take the same trades? Do you think you're going to have the same mentality between those two accounts if you only have the ability to make 2 mistakes and you have the ability to make 30 mistakes? It's just a question. What happens after you make that first mistake on your first account where you only have the ability to make 2 mistakes or you blow up? Are you going to be rational with your decisions? Or are you going to start to do some Hail Marys? No, I'm just like, it's tough to think about stuff like that, you know? Once you have a buffer, your life becomes much easier. You can have bad days and it doesn't fucking matter. But what you guys try to do is you try to get it all right now. I need it all right now. I need 100K in a day or I suck. like, what are you talking about? Like, no, man, just build up a buffer. Like, just build a buffer so you can fuck up and it's not the end of the world. It's the same thing with what I'm talking about now with like this 150K and compared to a 25K. It's like, I need to pass this eval in 1 day. And if I'm not trading minis on a 25K account and taking max payouts every day, I suck as a trader. Like, no. What you're doing is you're trying to fast forward your progression and you are trying to over leverage and you are trying to push the boundaries as far as possible. And when it doesn't work out, you then demonize yourself instead of slow and steady. I've posted that video before. So you may have gotten that video from me. Posted it about a month ago. But yeah, no, like this is just like it's just a math, man. Like it's just like very basic math. Like you have to give yourself the ability to succeed. And as soon as you realize like what you're
Trump has
buying is
ended remarks
drawdown,
at the White
like,
House. Only a few
that's all that
comments today.
matters. Like the only way that those smaller accounts make sense from an investment perspective is if you were buying 30 of them and then you're trading them as like this either works or it doesn't, and that's okay. I'm going to pass immediately. I'm going to get a single payout, right? And then I'm going to dip. Because if not, then like why are you giving yourself more tighter rules to play around, right? Like you need to be playing the system, right? It's not just trading. You're trading in their rule set. And when you buy a smaller account, you are making yourself play on a harder difficulty because you have a tighter drawdown. Do you get what I'm saying? You have less chances to fail. Yes, it's cheaper, but it's also a worse product. You are buying the Temu of account sizes. You're going to buy 5 pairs of shoes in the time that if you bought 1 pair of really nice, good boots, right? Like yes, the boots are more expensive, but they're going to last you a lifetime. Whereas your cheap Walmart knockoff shoes, you're gonna have to buy 3 pairs, right? It's the same. It's the same thing. It's the Temu, lower quality, higher risk. Oh, sure, but like I just need you to like get into that mentality. Is like you're paying for drawdown, so when you give yourself tighter restrictions in the rule set, it's going to be harder and harder for you to actually be successful. because you're limiting your upside by having a much tighter downside. Like what you need to be doing is scaling and building a buffer so that you can give yourself that ability to have bad days, so that you don't mentally shock yourself when things don't work out and then start to spiral. And don't get me wrong, like you can definitely make money off the 25 and 50K accounts, but your execution has to be key and your mentality has to be solid. Because if you're not doing that, you're going to want to pass. Like that's how they get you, is there's a monthly rebill, right? You're like, oh, I need to pass before this charges me again, or it's not worth it. It's like, okay, now I need to rush my trades. I did all this good work for the entire month, but we're about to rebill, and it's like now it's a YOLO. Either I wasn't able to hit, I wasn't able to pass my eval in a single month, so now it's going to bill me again. So I either YOLO my account and YOLO all of my hard work for the last month, so that it resets, or I pass, right? So now your mentality is completely fucked because you're now giving up all of your hard work for a potential YOLO now. You get me? It's because you guys just, you want to rush because they create all of these scenarios where it's like, oh, they're giving you the opportunity to not abide by your system. You want it all now. Brother, this range is crazy. But yeah, no, like 100K a day, brother, is it's a thought. Like you don't need that. Like just consistently make $1,000 a day. Like why do you need more than $1,000 a day in extra income? Like what are you doing?
If the US cuts off Ukraine,
why do you don't need more than $300 a day in extra
so that's
income
Putin
to
offering
scale
an
that.
ultimatum here. Offers to stop sharing intel with Iran if the US cuts off Ukraine.
If you can make $300 a day on 10 accounts, you're making $3,000 extra a day. Like you can't survive off of $3,000 extra a day. You wiping your ass with caviar? Like what are you doing? Actually, probably true, Surf. I'm currently on my third account after failing first two, halfway to target, but biggest change I did was only trade 1 micro max to depending on risk. Yeah, like again, you just it's all about your risk to reward and understanding like the ability to just scale and slowly go up. Right? Be consistent
So
first.
looking into
That's
this
the
piece
first
from
rule.
Politico then, Moscow proposed a quid pro quo to the US under which the Kremlin would stop sharing intelligence information with Iran, such as precise coordinates of US assets in the Middle East, if Washington ceased supplying Ukraine with intel about Russia. Two people familiar with the US-Russia negotiations said that such a proposal was made by Russian envoy Dmitriev to Trump administration envoy Witkoff and Kushner during their meeting last week in Miami.
Listen, like it's either you YOLO from the start, and you're gonna over leverage, and you're just looking to pass an eval quickly, or you're gonna be consistent with it. But there's no like half-assing doing both. You're just gonna blow up because you don't have a consistent rule set and a consistent risk to reward, right? So if you are willing to, take these 1-to-1 and then, move up runner trades that we've been talking about, and you're consistent with it, that's great. But if you then YOLO your account with much higher leverage, with no stop or a wider stop, and then give it all back in a single trade, like that's like a bad mentality that you have and an inconsistent rule set. And it's going to be very hard for you to make money because you're consistent with what you're doing 90% of the time, but the 10% you're not, you completely fuck yourself. Right? you give back all of your hard work and all of your accountability in singular trades or singular days where you have a bad day and your mentality goes out, and then all of a sudden all of your hard work from the last couple of weeks building out your account is gone and you blow up your account in a single day. Like, what's up with that? That's not cool. Like, have some self-respect for yourself. Don't do that. Yeah, these airport videos are insane, man. Wait, like, look, I just scrolled by Twitter. Look at this dude. Look at this dude. Look at what he just said. PSA, I currently suck at trading. Full-blown tilt session this morning. I just can't with this market right now. 92 days traded, gone in 1 hour. Like, what are we doing? This man had so much hard work. Did so much hard work, got past all of those accounts, and blew them all up in 1 hour of bad trading. What? You're really gonna give up 92 hours of your life because you're having a tantrum? But look at how many accounts he has. Like, when you have good days, that is going to be insane. But you just need to be able to be consistent with it. And you need to be able to give yourself limits, right? Like, stop yourself out, man. Lock yourself out. Like, if you can't handle it, you need to have systems in place that are going to hold you accountable on your worst days. Do not allow yourself to self-destruct. Apex is smiling. Oh yeah, they are. They're like, whew. we don't have to give him his 100K payout. I don't know, man. Like, again, it's just you just want too much too quickly, and you don't give yourself the ability to scale, right? And like that is going to always be your downfall as a trader, as an individual, is that we see the possibilities and then we get greedy and our expectations get skewed, and then we stop doing the things that actually have been working for us, and we start to be in that dream state where we're no longer being realistic with our goals, and then we have expectations that don't meet reality, and then everything's fucked from there on, right? Like, you just have to just remind yourself and keep yourself accountable of like what you actually want to do and what your goal is and what's actually realistic expectations. And like, as soon as you do that, you're in such a better spot. And then just scale it, like, you don't have to trade more leverage. Just get a couple more accounts and use the trade copier that Tom just made, right? Like, he just gave you the trade copier for free. Scale, build up that buffer, continue to do what you're doing with the same size, same everything. Don't change anything. Just be consistent. This range is something, man. Yeah, well, so like, also remember this. Like, you can set you not only a drawdown goal, right, or a lockout, you could set a payout lockout as well. So like, if you're going to fall below your, $150 or $200, you could lock yourself out of your account at that as well, being like, oh, okay, I've given too much back. I need to be able to maintain at least $150. Because you remember, like, a lot of these prop firms have a system in place where you have to make a consistent amount of money for payouts to occur. Like Top Step, for example, you have to make $150 a day at least for 5 days, right? So you can have a lockout at 150 if you go back down to that low, so that you're at least still securing your payout. It doesn't have to just be on the negative side that you lock out. You can be on the positive side, so where you continue to make at least the bare minimum that you need on a day, so that you can achieve a payout. Lockouts can happen on both sides. You can lock yourself out from giving too much back. How many days do you have like really solid morning trades and then you give it all back by the afternoon and you're like, oh, well, I fucking suck? Okay, we'll set a minimum, right? Treat that as unrealized. Move your trailing stop up on your account so that you can't give back all of your winnings. On your account itself, right? Not just the trade, the account itself. Give yourself a lockout if you go back on the amount that you've given back on the day. Find a number that you're comfortable with, and if you're above said number, if you hit that number again, right? If you've given too much back, you leave. So let's say you make $1,000 in the morning. You want to hold $500 or $200 so you stay positive on the day, right? That's your lockout then. Leave that so that you can then come back the next day with a positive. And then you do it again, right? You can trade until either you give it all back and you get to that number that locks you out, that 200 once you're positive, or that 500 or whatever it's going to be. But then you're consistently profitable even when you're fucking up, right? You've made money on the day. Now you leave. You had your opportunity. It didn't work out. It is what it is. You had some good trades in the morning. You've given it some of the money back. At least you're keeping the bare minimum in your account to stay consistent for payout. So exactly like Kells, like let's say you make 300 on the day today, and you're like, okay, well, maybe I can a couple more trades, but I don't want to give it all back. So now you could be like, okay, well, if it goes back below $150, that's now my stop out on the day where I leave. So I'm at least still consistent with that, and I could be trading this range until we either am able to continue to push and we continue to raise that number of where I'm happy on the day. So maybe next trade, it's okay, if we go below $300, I'm leaving. I want to secure that at least, right? Like you can do that for yourself as well. It's not just like, oh, I had a negative $1,000 day and now I'm in a revenge trade. It's like, oh, no, I'm still positive and I want to stay positive. I don't want to give it all back. Think of your time in market as it's an opportunity, right? But you don't want to stay for the full session because you know that opportunities have risks. Every time you enter a trade is also a period in which you could be losing money in your account. So you want to limit the amount of time that you're here for, and you want to make sure that the time that you are here for, you are able to secure those profits. You don't want to give it all back to the house. So just like, remember, like your job is to use the system. You aren't just playing like the market, but you're also playing the prop firm's rules. Trade within their structure. If they require a certain amount of days of consistent trading, then make that your lockout. It's that simple. If Top Step wants you to have $150, making $150 a day, then make that your fucking lockout. It's really that simple. Does that make sense? Do you understand what I'm saying? Like if they require consistency, then make that your lockout. Play the rules. Play the system. So our range is still the same. There's no change. We're just rotating while we chop on either side. Nothing really do here. Just another rotation. Our lows are holding though. We just got to show interest back above. But higher POCs, slowly but surely. Lord. We are still just building out this distribution here. Hide drawings. I just really want to show, again, like this distribution is very clear in what we're doing, which is trading into our value edges and then rotating said range over and over and over and over again. Let's change this so that this is a bit larger so you can see how like clear this distribution is. So all you do is just give yourself risk areas and let it play, you know. Am I staying most of the day again? Probably not, man. What's the point? I mean, I don't know. We'll see. But like, if we're trading in this choppy range for the next 3 hours, then I don't know, man. What's the point? Oof. Well of Ascension. Nice. Glad you're liking it. Yeah, book 2 is good. Mm, I mean, they're all good. I haven't read them in a minute. I mean, book 3 is cool because you start to learn everything, right? Like it all kind of comes together, which is really good. Book 1 is really cool because you're like discovering the world. Book 2 is I don't know. I mean, it's a solid series. There isn't really like I personally really liked the second trilogy after because now you have like all of this history and world building done. Um, and you're now like living within the world and you're like, "Oh shit, like that happened because of this." Like I think that that's really cool. I don't know, man. Vin is such a good character. Yeah, the Wax and Wayne series. I enjoyed them. They're very steampunky. They take place in the future. Ugh, Lord. Into our value high here. I absolutely love the magic system in Mistborn. I think it's one of the coolest systems. Like Allomancy is just so cool. I don't know. So like the Wax and Wayne series is just like Allomancy on steroids. Because it's like it's their magic system, but with like another 100 years of advancement. No, yeah, no, like I'm no spoilers, but like yeah, it takes place much later. I'm so excited to see Hail Mary this weekend, man. Tomorrow morning. That's weird. I forgot today's Friday. Yeah, I guess that does make sense. I don't think I've ever watched a movie in the morning though. That's kind of crazy. I've never like woken up and I'm like, you know what I want to do? Go to a movie theater. Like I'd do brunch first maybe, and then go to a movie. But brunch after is crazy. Brunch after a movie is so weird. Like I'm pretty sure I haven't gone to a movie theater before 2 p.m. ever in my life. Honestly, I didn't even know that movie theaters were open before lunch. Yeah. I mean, I don't know what would be wrong other than if there was like a weird random like sex scene in a flashback or something. Other than that, I don't know why there it wouldn't be appropriate. Only thing I can think of that would be like again like with the two scientists who had a relationship. That's the only thing that I can think of that's like inappropriate in the book, and they only like talk about it, right? I'm trying not to give spoilers, but yeah, that's the only thing I could think of. Other than that, I think it's pretty safe. Full rotation up into our top of range here. NQ opening above our previous 15-minute candle. Slow grind up to our top of range. This is our ETH low and our 320 where we've taken profit over and over and over and over again today. We're watching to see if we build an excess in our tail again, or if this is just going to hold and then rotate back through once again. Again, this is just our top of range where we've rejected over and over and over again, and every attempt to try to hold has been absorbed, and then we've rotated through said range back down to our lows into the 60 to 40. So let's see if we do anything different now, or if this is going to remain the same. Watching our POC to value of our previous candle to see if our bid is going to be able to hold and lift us into this absorption here again, or if it's just going to be more of the same.
The pound drops as much as 0.98%, set for its biggest fall since September against the US dollar.
So I'm gonna post this. I'm gonna DM this to you, Surf, because it has spoilers if you haven't read the book. But if you have read the book, this is why I'm so excited. This thread is so cool. But I can't even post that without it being spoilers. Yes, into our top of range here now, off our rotation, off our lows. Holding POC of previous candle, just rotating up into our absorption here. I'm debating if I close my last contract or if we're going to be able to push highs. I have one runner from 50 with my stop at 30. And I have my PT has just been sitting here all day at 390 on my last contract. This is where we took profit last time at our 28s. I just don't know if I take it again here or if I look for expansion. We should at least be able to take out our wick high here, I would assume, at 43. But again, it's just another rotation. Like nothing has changed with any of the things that we've talked about. We just took out our wick high. There it is. It's a $2,000 rotation. On a single contract. Just into our highs here. Remember that 390 target is just the POC shift. That's why I was looking for it, but let's see if we can hold our value edge at 330. That'll be important to let us know. We're gonna go up to that 390. We can start to build here at our ETH low and value high. If not, then right, it'll be a look back in, our rejection, rotation back down to POC, and then back down to our value low with excess building in our tail, with a failure to expand in our LVN in between our two nodes. Just like before. Why did my footprint just die? That was weird. Yeah, I mean the potential for expansion is just it's very hard. We're watching basically to see if these previous highs can hold this 320 area. Our bid from our previous candle sits at 315, 313. It's just hard, man, because we know what we're doing, which is every look above is being absorbed, and then as soon as we get below 300s, we rotate back through, right? So it's hard to look for change in a market like this because we know we're just in such a clear range. Where's my profile? Yeah. So like we just failed on the look outside of value, and now we're back in. So like if this re-offers, then this liquidity is just going to be offside, just like the previous attempts, and then we'll look for just a rotation back down to POC. With this then being our risk, and then full rotation would then result in another move down into these lows. So we just gotta watch and see. If sell side sits here into our edge, that is a good sign that these guys are going to be stuffed on the 15. And then as soon as we get below this POC here, that'll be your sign. Right now, your buyers are sitting here, right off our previous candle. And as soon as that flips, that's when you get your next leg down. Holding where we need so far, but gotta show interest. Yes, just top of range, no look above like NQ did. Sorry, I'm just trying to clean this up. It gets a bit messy very quickly. This is where you're watching to see if the offer sits into our value edge on retest. These guys remain offsides above. Or can we take out highs off of our bounce here, show interest, and then the ability to pop? Or is this going to offer and then rotate us below for the full range? Like so. I'd like to see us be able to trade up into our 390 where my PT is, but we shall see. Wait, Mario's just playing Crimson Desert right now? Uh, Jesus. Failure to take out highs on both RTY and ES. Um, we opened below POC of previous candle on both ES and NQ, but we're just in a really tight balance between this yellow box, between these two yellow boxes. Watching to see if ES double bottoms here or if we're going to have to rotate down to that 97 POC on the daily off of a failure at our highs. I'm unsure. I'm trying to hold this runner, but I don't want to give back, everything. If we show no interest over our value high here on retest and make another lower high, I'd probably just dip out and then look to reevaluate because the chance for rotations down just becomes that much higher. Like if this holds here now, we'll see. I don't know, I just don't want to give back $1,000 if unrealized for no reason, especially if we're just going to come back down to my average. Still just holding where we need, but let's see. Held our lows very well. Offer hit sitting here at 340. So they've now hit 2 F-35s in Iran? Or we don't know because we don't know what's propaganda and what's not. The pilot of the American F-35 hit by an Iranian missile yesterday suffered shrapnel wounds but is in stable condition. F-35 made a hard landing and won't be returning to service anytime soon. Is that not them just shooting down an F-35, but worded in a way like what? Like what? It's crazy that they can shoot down F-35s. That's got to scare the shit out of them. I think they shot down another, but I can't. It's so hard because we have so much propaganda on Twitter right now from both sides. But yeah, it looks like it. Well, I was looking at other things, and it looked like it didn't return to base. There was like a very clear flight pattern of them looking for debris. on another, but I don't know what's real and what's not. Like I have no clue. Which I guess is kind of the point, right? They've like flooded our networks with AI garbage. We have no clue what's real and what's fake at this point. Full range rotation here on NQ off of the failure at our highs. Russell back down to POC.
Friday enjoyers.
Yo,
What up?
what is up?
Feel like not a super exciting Friday so far.
Yeah, it's
After
okay.
the first 30 minutes.
It's at least it's a very profitable Friday for how tight the range is, to be honest.
Yeah.
But yeah, not incredibly exciting.
Let's even how yesterday was. Well, minus the news pump to Valhalla, but like those rotations are still really good.
Yeah.
New World Enjoyer, true.
I'm trying to hold this runner, but I've all that I've done so far is give back $600.
Hell yeah.
So we'll see.
Hello, Basil. How are you?
It's a very hard area for me to want to like I had this conversation with these guys this morning where it's like what is more likely, our this low breakdown of our multi-week balance is going to happen today, or we're going to absorb into these lows and then try to rotate back up, with a failure, and then over the weekend they actually shove us down. But like today, I feel like this chop below our multi-week makes the most sense, and it's just like them trying their hardest to try to flip this pivot, right? And now we'll get the real move over the weekend, and today is either going to be balance or a rotation back through. Like I'm not expecting the breakdown to happen during the live market. Like I doubt it, right? So like this is like the hourly. It's like, are we going to just kind of like chop here and then, gap down over the weekend when the war starts back up, when the markets are closed? Or is this going to, trap and then we're going to rotate back through and then trade our range again?
It's kind of, I have the same opinion. It's kind of what I wrote in the intraday, where even ES like can come up 100 points, and like sellers don't want to get stuff down here, but I don't think they really have a choice today.
Yeah.
Like
I just don't see them forcing it for, like, there's no reason for them to force it when they can just do it over the weekend for free. I don't know.
Especially with expirations and stuff.
Yeah.
So like puts are gonna roll off. Like there's gonna be this holding or upward pressure.
I don't know.
The
And then
roles have already been
I was
done.
looking at this as well, which has been my NVIDIA pathing for forever. I mean, it's like almost a year now.
Yes.
But we're coming back
Yeah.
down to this support on NVIDIA, and it's like, okay, well, that could be a catalyst now if we do the full range rotation. Like, that, I don't want to get
Maybe that
too
thing you
bearish.
found with the DLSS actually being just foo-foo magic BS is the impetus for it to break down.
Yeah, maybe. Let's see if we flip here, boys, for the full rotation back to 240. I'm stopped on long. Watching our offer here at our pivot for pathing for secondary leg. Yes, into POC should offer a slight bounce to give us reoffer, ideally, on market as a whole. But we're already pushing down into that 260 for the flip of our 90. Watch our 260 here. See what we do as ES pushes into our POC shift. I didn't mean to move that. Slight bounce like we talked about, just off of ES low. See where NQ finds its secondary leg, if it's going to be up into 290 or if it's just going to be off of our seller that's sitting here at 70s. 70s would be the most bearish for this immediate rotation down to 320. There's our bounce again off of ES, just rotating back up into our 390.
The Bank of England
Let's watch
say
to
it
see what we
will
do.
weigh gilt sales toward
Or
short
sorry,
maturity
290,
bonds
not
in
390.
Q2.
This is where I didn't want to see our reoffer as we push into this off of our value low hold. Then we look to see if we get one more leg or not. Again, like this bounce is predictable based off of just our POC hold here, and then we're watching to see if offer sits here where the seller was for a lower high for continuation down. Same thing on NQ. We expected the bounce off of ES, and now we watch to see if sell side sits into this pivot to let us know if we get that next leg into our ADR low. Need to see a loss of momentum across the market for this move if it's going to happen, or this will just trap and then we'll look back up. Offer holding so far. But we got to get below this POC on ES for us to feel comfy. The roast of Kevin Hart, hosted by Shane Gillis. Holy, that's going to be good.
Oh, logging in.
That's going to be insane.
Say who else
Senate
is
Majority
gonna
Leader
be there. It's on Netflix though, so like
G-rated? Nah, I doubt it.
Nah, it won't be. It won't be G-rated, but they will contain the slurs. I'll say it like that.
Nothing
Who
with
else
Shane
is in
Gillis in it can be
panels?
G-rated.
Factual.
Even if they tried, there's no way. It's inconceivable. There's our offer and rotation down based off of what we were just talking about across the board. This is your first risk off as we retest lows if you are trying to trade this. Just we got to break lows for us to care, or this will be just a potential bounce point. Rory, is this a helpful video for you?
Perfect. This gathered energy.
What are these people talking about in this video? Some ICT shit. Ugh, Lord.
That guy's still around.
Oh
We
yeah,
had the big fraud apocalypse a couple years ago, but
he's he can't die from that. Offer holding, same as before, no change, following pathing, rotating back down to our lows. It's your first risk off. It's a 1-to-1 trade area right now between our risk of our zone and these lows. If we can get the continuation, you're going to be very happy with this, but we got to break lows for more. Again, 605 to our 97 here. This is your first risk off. We've got to flip this POC here, or there's nothing more. Don't be too greedy. Leave a runner for the potential expansion with our flip of our pivot, but understand that this has to show interest down in these lows. We need to sweep it. Wait, what is that? What?
I'm just scrolling.
It's like, what does that mean?
I love him.
What does that mean, man? The same day. It's funny. Dude, Mario, the Steam Deck version of Crimson Desert won't even load. I tried launching it and it just like immediately
Mm,
shuts down. So that
I'm
sucks.
not surprised.
Yeah. And
It's
I was having
I
some
mean,
graphical errors with mine. I don't know.
I played like 2 hours last night, like an hour this morning, and like I said, I don't think it's bad, but so far I'm not like I haven't had the like oh
Yeah.
kind of moment.
You didn't want to stay on for the entire night.
Yeah, like I was
Yeah.
fine going to bed at 10.
Right.
You know, I like.
Yep.
But even like this morning, like I said, I only played for an hour this morning, but I started kinda understand the comboing with combat and like got more enjoyable. But
I can't even get
we'll
into
see.
a menu. Like I try to launch it and it immediately just shuts down on me. So maybe I'll have to try to like do it in like default settings. In like the property management on Steam Deck. I don't know. Yeah.
I had problems where, because my main screen is 3440 by 1440, but it was defaulting to like 2762 by like 1320, like just this random resolution. And like once I got that, it fixed it, made it run a little better.
I had to reinstall my NVIDIA drivers twice last night to even get it started because I kept getting stuck on the start screen, where like the cubes are.
Do that. I should update my drivers for this.
I don't know. I'll play it more this weekend, but like, if it's gonna continue to mess up with me, like I really wanted it to be a Steam Deck game. Like I desperately wanted this to be a good Steam Deck game. Because it's supposed to be, it's like controller first. It's not even like built for keyboard, which is so odd. Like,
I've been playing keyboard, but I might try to switch over. It's got the like Red Dead Redemption kind of like clunkiness, where there's like some inertia and
like, even like on the camera itself, it has like a little.
Yeah. Oh, I'm running 0 on the lowest possible thing for mouse, like camera movement and stuff.
You have to. It felt so odd when I first got in. I was like, what is this?
And it looks good, but it also looks like weird, like visually. There's
yeah, I mean, it looks like BDO.
Saturation filter is crazy.
Yeah. Taking off a little bit more riskier into 250. I don't know if they're gonna pull this or if we're gonna get filled here. But I'm just taking off a little. I have 5 left. 76 average, 93 stop on my last runners. See if we get the full breakdown.
Yes, has a ways to go until the buy edge.
Yeah. It's like either it bids 98 or we flip and then we head down to like 91. 7 more points. That's what I've got at least. And Q, I just want to see 30s. This 30 to 40 is a good target for first. And get this breakdown. Holding POC of previous candle so far on new 15s, which is good. Just give me our push down into target. Then we get the full pathing. Bouncing our lows off our 42 ADR low. Yes, bouncing off our PVZ, POC. Just rotating back up to our top of range here. Still just by rudders. Just retesting 15-minute POC on NQ. Again, stop sitting 93s, average 76. Offer held our 60s, rotating back down to our lows. Let's see if we can push this. I'd like one more leg. Offer sitting 60, 65. Again, just retesting lows, took them out, popping, back to POC of previous candle. Yes, held lows, no change. Also still diverging, which is interesting. Today is Free Italian Ice Day at Rita's. First day of spring.
There you go.
I don't know if you guys have
We
those.
walked to Dairy Queen yesterday, and the line was like 80 people.
Oh
We're
boy.
Like, we got Tillamook at home.
Weird. Full range rotation here. See if we hold on our ETH low on ES as well as VWAP, as well as NQ just into our 89 again, to our highs. Stop sitting at 93 on my final contracts. Just hit that wick high. If they take it, then I'm out, and then I'll reevaluate. No big deal. No big deal. Sorry, English. Taken.
Holy ripper.
Oh, their lows at NQ80R, just rotating back up. We'll watch to see if they absorb here, and then if we fail again, then I'll look for the same rotation. Nothing to write home about. Let's see what we do. I just don't want to be in this on the wrong side if we're going to flip this as a pivot. I'm more than happy to play this again if this absorbs into here, and then we rotate down, right? But I don't want to be in this if we're going to hold here and then we rotate up like so. That's why it's my stop. So we'll see what we do now that we've taken out that wick high. See if we get a good reoffer. Bid sitting at 85s. Battle at our 85s. As long as they don't take out our highs over that 300, it's going to be a rotation back down, would be my assumption. If we put in this lower offer here. See what they do. $10 so far off of our flip bar 85s. It's your first risk off. Now look for the full rotation through, following your pathing.
Am I going? Am I going where? Rory? Look what they took from you, Sig.
Good job, Zuno. Yeah, that 85 flip was good. And then your risk is just that 300 high. Wheel of Time universe. Rather shut them down. Yeah, well, you know, it's probably for the best. AGS is doomed. They just don't have it in them, man.
Yeah. Listen, Rory, if I had an extra like 100 mil sitting around to buy AGS, I wouldn't be your friend, man.
Damn.
Out of principle, you know? Yeah, I'm ready. Give it to me. Uh-huh. Oh, I scale on top. Okay, so 100K is my base, and that's where when I start scaling. Yeah, right?
SEC deleted their Twitter.
Oh, actually?
Yeah.
See, the thing, Rory, is that might be fun, but I couldn't even stomach paying the taxes. Like, I would never even want to make that much, just knowing how much I would have to pay in taxes.
We had a conversation
Maybe.
earlier. This is very meta. He was talking about how he's going to make 100K a day. That's his goal.
Mm,
I was
mm.
like, why would you want to make 100K a day? What are you going to do with that?
Yeah, you have to like
You
move
did.
to
You
like
said
St. Bart's.
100K in a day, brother. Those were your words.
Okay, so Roy, you know you just said just one day, but imagine this. And you scale. Thoughts?
That was our conversation.
Yeah, right. Sir, I'd way rather like have an offshore account and just like start my own paramilitary at that point, you know? No, I was joking. I'll always be your friend.
That's funny. He took that personally, man. Holy.
As he should. I mean, I expect nothing less.
Are you guys even real friends if you don't know he's joking?
True.
Turn this back on you.
Rory knows every word out of my mouth is a joke, but yet he still takes it very seriously.
We're just watching to see if this like 90 85 90 area can hold, and as long as we're not taking out highs, then we're putting a lower offer and then we can rotate down. But if we pop this, then we'll be showing that buy side is willing to continue us up, right? So we're just this is our risk right now, right? And we are watching to see if we can flip over and get this bid. You can see that ES is trying to hold our previous resistance is supportive and build here. It's a little bit of an awkward area, but very clear risk to reward right now for downside as well as upside. Just got to flip pivot for the upside trade to really get any sort of expansion, but offer holding where it needs. So to me, I'm not doing anything different. Just risked off a little bit more there. Again, very clear risk to reward here. Got one more. I posted my levels in chat. I'll just update it right now. But like, it's such a clear offer there for the lower high. Got one more. Again, just playing off of our 300 highs and just loading the boat there, following our pathing. There it is. Right, that's what we were watching for. There's your full rotation.
Actually, some good size on it in Q that came in resting there. I thought I had the ES dom up for a second. So 100 contracts, 39s.
Do you see why like that stop out doesn't matter to me on that runner? And we just reload once we see the lower high get put in, and then we use that as our risk once we see that absorption. Like I'd rather be stopped there and reevaluate and then wait for that lower high to be put in than try to hold for no reason when we don't need to. When we know this is a range trade, right? It's the same as before. Right? Like we already know what we're doing, which is offering this off of the sweeper and then playing this down. And then we stop out once we go over that wick high because we don't know if they're going to now hold this as our support and then rotate us up off of it like we have path tier. But as soon as we push back below, then I can look for that reoffer, right, at our edge, and then we just play this back down. It's no big deal because then this becomes our risk. Yeah. And then I'm just playing the lower high. Then we just play it back down. And I take our first risk off here to make the trade free. Right? We take our 1-to-1, and then this becomes our risk. Then it's a break-even trade if we just chop here. But if we get the push down, then we take profits into our next area, which is our 70s, where we took profit in the first attempt. Then we play into the lows, right? The bottom of our range. And then we just let our runners run. But I have no issue with stopping out on this final contract here because we don't know if this is going to hold and then continue up. But if we do push below and then we see that offer step down, then use that. Use this as your risk like we have drawn. Nothing wrong with that. Just a range rotation, holding our lows. Oh, that was a news event, but for some reason we didn't hear it. Iran unwilling to discuss Hormuz while under attack.
Crazy comms.
Yeah. But yeah, it's just a range. Oh, there it is. At I think news voice.
It's
I didn't hear it.
I didn't hear it either, but the green, if there's a green circle around it, it is on. So
Yeah, I think
maybe they just didn't say it.
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, it definitely was working earlier. I just don't know if it needs to be refreshed. But I feel like he would have said that. It was in red. He always says the red things. Yeah, there. That's what I thought. I can't believe the market is falling on Barron Trump's birthday, man. Unlucky.
True. I
How,
didn't know it was his birthday, but
how could he allow
true.
this? It's the big 20.
Holy. Can't wait for Rory's 20th birthday.
Big plans, Roy?
Hell yeah.
All right, Roy. Am I staying late today or am I leaving? Dude, what's the move? I feel like we had some good trades, man. How's Sarah? Well, she only pooped the house once yesterday, which is better than the 7 times the previous days of the week. So I think she's getting better. She finally like, oh my god, yesterday she was able to hold it until I got outside and then she pooped. That was nice. Found on the way back inside.
Big.
So that was huge. Um yeah, progress. She's eating, which is good. Or bad, depending. When you eat, you poop. So there's that. But at least she's eating food. That's good. She's not gonna die. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Hopefully by the end of this week, she's fully better. I don't know. These like random sicknesses that where she's just sick for a week every like 2 months is it's a little annoying, man. I was so defeated yesterday when she did that. Okay, yeah, I don't know if you weren't here, Mario, when I was telling that story, but like last night or no, the night before, I walked Sarah for like an hour at 3 in the morning, just trying to get her to poop before I went to sleep. And she just would not do it. She was just staring at me like I was an idiot. Like, what? I'm not doing it. Like, I don't have to go. I don't have to go. I just kept walking her around the block over and over and over again. And then we get inside of the lobby, and she immediately squats and just takes like the most liquid, vile thing I've ever seen in my life, just right in the main lobby. It's just like this, like full on betrayal, man. It's just like,
what are you gonna do?
I just,
What are you gonna do?
I just wanted to die. Like, thank God it was late at night. No one else stepped in, but I just like had to like go take her upstairs, and then I had to bring a mop down with me to the lobby to clean this thing up. It's just like, are you kidding me? Oh,
Yeah, that's like a top 10 ego moves, top 3 maybe.
So sad. What a waste of my life.
That is a not incorrect take. It's a interesting take, but it's pretty spot on.
So yeah, I was very happy when she was actually able to go outside and immediately do her business, because this like hour walk thing is just like, maybe she's milking it. She knows. She's like, oh, I don't actually have to go to the bathroom as soon as I step outside, because I'll get a longer walk if I hold it.
Yeah. And she's like, oh, it's over? Okay. All right.
And it's so cold too. It's like 20 degrees.
Yeah, one of our dogs is kind of like that. Luckily, it's in the backyard, but he has like the corner. And like while walking, he won't do anything. And he gets home and he's like, I gotta go out. I gotta go out. He only
So
likes his
annoying.
corner.
I'm out one more here on NQ as we retest lows. We held 60s, which is good. But I need to see us like sweep these lows, man. Get us below ADR. Yes, back into our low range, which is why I've taken off a risk on NQ again for a potential bounce here. It's been very reflexive, so just want to make sure that I'm aware of where the bid is, which is at this 240 area on NQ, and yes, here at this 97.
But it's so much for gas in Rory's world.
The nightmare of trying to like have to wipe her butt, flippers. Like, I'd rather just wipe the floor than her butt. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you. Because I know she's not gonna acknowledge that bag, so she's gonna immediately sit on that diaper, and then it's just gonna be the worst thing of my life.
It's over.
Yeah,
Journey's says we'll speak to by phone with Trump over the weekend.
like actual nightmare. Like, I can't. As of right now, I'm just giving you a heads up. This does look
Reminder
like
at 1:30 p.m.
we're going to
Eastern
get the
time,
breakdown
expecting
on the
comments
higher
from
time frame.
ECB's Nagel giving a speech on the German economy in Goslar, Germany.
with what we just rejected on the hourly, I'm getting more and more convinced that this is going to break. Like, I'm just looking at this hourly candle, and we just took out highs, and now we're looking for lows again. But, like, I don't know. That to me looks like we have potential for this breakdown. I kind of want to hold a runner for it, and then just chill. God, if we can push below ADR low, it's Jover. Like, we took out highs here, and now we're getting that lower offer. You know, take out lows, sweep below this 215, 240. Where are we even going? What's the equivalent to 24K on the new contract? No, I mean, it'll just still be the 24. Did we have any bounce points? Maybe before 130. Here. This is my next PT. We flip that 215. As long as we're holding ADR though, gotta play it as a range, but I kind of want to greed a runner for that next leg into 130 if we get the hourly breakdown. We'll see. But these guys are just so screwed here. And now with this lower offer, I like this potential breakdown that we could see. I don't know. I'm thinking, does it happen in today's session is the question, or does it happen over the weekend with less liquidity? That's my concern. And do I want to hold over the weekend into fucking Sunday? No, is the answer always.
Nope.
It will always be my answer. I'm not trying to hold the weekend. I'm not trying to look at a chart on Sunday for 5 hours in Globex price action. It's the worst.
It'd be yeah. You can't eat if you have a trade on. It's true.
Mm-hmm.
2.5 minutes here till new 30s. Peace, Basil.
Later, man. Have a good weekend.
UK ministers met today to discuss Middle East and Strait of Hormuz.
New 15s, new 30s. Into our lows. Let's do it. Get us below. $215 target here. Gotta flip this ADR, and then we can start to go for that lower target. Just broke our lows. Anyone playing off these highs with me? No? Okay. Unlucky.
Go again.
$24,200. That's a good target. I'm trying to full greed for the breakdown on the hourly, but I don't know if we're gonna get it. But I think 200 is a good target. I think you'll probably be able to get to 165 at least today. I'd like to see the 130 to 090 area personally, but we'll see. If we flip ADR, then I definitely think you get a nice little secondary leg like so. But we shall see. Offer sitting at that like 220, 230 above us. There it is. Great reoffer, 215. Take out of lows.
The Nasdaq 100 index extends drop to 1.5%.
Big. $170 is your target, boys. This is ES target for me personally. This follows our full pathing off of our risk into our 85 to 79.
Seeing a little bit of downside movement in the S&P 500 and upside movement in the US dollar. Currently no headlines to explain the move, but we'll keep looking.
All right, that's probably it for me. Goodbye, friends.
Peace.
Good trades, good trades. We're halfway to my hourly target. I don't know if I agreed for the 24K, but we did get the breakdown. Yeah, man, 100K day just for you, Rory. I don't know. I mean, like, I really do think like we could take out like the hourly lows, but I think this 170 is a good good area to risk off. And then we wait to see what we do. This is a good ES target. This is ES ADR, which is why I think it makes sense for a bounce to be here for the short for a little bit. And then we figure out where we want to go. But really nice reoffer at our 15s for rotations down to 170s. Again, if 170s flipped, I'd be looking for 130 and then 090. Just our levels below. But I think we'll probably have to reoffer this if we get our bounce here on ES. I don't know. We'll see. But really solid risk to reward. Right? Again, remember our risk was just here into these highs. Really nice rotation down, and then our idea of our willingness to hold runners, right, is that we get that hourly breakdown that I posted earlier. Or right, it's actually right. I just posted it again, but it's that little look above, and then we'll take out of the lows below, and then the sweeper. It's kind of my idea of why we think we could probably head down there. Yeah. Okay. All right, I'm gonna go. Peace, love. See you guys later. Have a good weekend. Enjoy yourselves. Yeah. Just gonna look for another reoffer at those deltas. Yeah, I think that's good. It's just you're gonna have to wait a minute. I think you have to wait for ES to lose momentum again. Just found me? Oh, well, welcome to the stream, Scott. I'll be here Monday. Hope to see you again. All right. Have a good weekend. Bye. Goodbye.
Later.